It's Friday. What's going on? Miguel Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio, and we about to get it in today, as this is an exciting weekend. As we didn't even put it on the rundown, so it is All-Star Weekend in the A, and guess where I'm going to be, baby? Right here. So all y'all coming into Atlanta, enjoy yourselves, do what you do, and please don't spread the germs. All right, anyway, so coming up for Life Full Circle Radio today, we're going to talk about a few things today. Texas and Mississippi have raised their mask mandates right when we feel like we're getting ready to have, as President Biden says, that we should be all ready to be vaccinated, everybody, by July. And then Texas says, I raise you. We're going to spread this more germs. Along with Mississippi, and then South Carolina says, you know what? We never had a mask mandate, so there. So anyway, all right, we're going to jump into this thing. Let me bring in the super producer. What's up?
Hello, everybody, except for people who are in Atlanta for All-Star Weekend. Like, no, don't listen to them. Don't do what you do. Don't have a great time. Like, why are you in Atlanta? We're not over this yet. Like, we haven't gotten to the point where we can all just be in Atlanta, like doing it big for All-Star Weekend. Even all my friends who are, what do you call them? You don't call them gold digger. That seems mean. Even they're abstaining from going to All-Star Weekend, and that's their moneymaker weekend.
Wow. So even the gold diggers are not coming to the A for the All-Star Weekend?
They're not coming. They're not. They're like, no, we're going to stay. We might plan a trip to Vegas, but we're not going to Georgia.
So question is, how many gold digger friends do you still have?
A lot. More than I probably should. Yes, I still have a lot. One of them, and I'm glad she's listening to the show. She's not a gold digger, but she dates athletes. Like, she dates athletes almost exclusively. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to Atlanta. So they.
Oh man, if it's first time tuning to Life Full Circle Radio, we take subject matter, we off the headlines, we dig a little bit deeper into it, and we try to have a lot of fun with it. And so it's a lot going on. A couple stories we're going to be talking about today. JayZ is not playing with y'all. Period. Point blank. We're going to talk about the moves, because it's been now 2 weeks in a row that JayZ has been making moves that are changing the game. And so we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about the NFL. NFL has there's an issue in the news right now about internships, unpaid internships. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about women's fertility. That's something that is very close, near, and dear to our good sister Kia's heart, as she's getting ready to have 2 beautiful babies coming out here within the next few weeks. She has some struggles with fertility. So we're going to talk 6 weeks. You counting down? You counting down?
Yes, I'm counting down, because I try to talk to the doctor. I'm like, hey, so how do you feel about 36 weeks? He's like, no. How do you feel about 38 weeks? And don't ask me again. I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
That's the kind of doctor you need. It says, all right, just hush your mouth, child. When these babies come, they gonna come. They coming when they coming. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna, HBCUs, man. I see LeBron James has got a new deal with your alma mater, FAMU. We're gonna talk about that. So let's get it on. And man, 2 things. I think I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna save these to the end. I'm not.
What?
No, I'm not.
Because I hate when you do that. Because something good.
It is today.
And you'll be running out of time.
It is today. Coming to America. We are not gonna be running long on this show today. Why? Because before my Trey came home, was just like, what is everybody saying about coming to America? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't want to hear from nobody. I don't want to hear from no internet people, nothing, nobody. We are, as soon as I
I
get
have
off this
purposely
show.
stayed off of, yeah, I purposely stayed off of Facebook and Twitter because you
Yeah.
always have those people, especially now everybody working from home, like, well, I took my lunch break and I went to the living room and I watched it. And like, no, I don't want la 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 la
La
la
la
la.
la 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 la. Yo, I was. They got a new soundtrack. The soundtrack is dope. I was listening to the soundtrack this afternoon. It looks like everybody is in this movie, man. Like everybody going back to. Let me go. Let me
Yeah.
go back. Let me go back to the two shot.
You want me to go
Everybody.
back to the want me to read the cast list that we had last week?
Yes, please. James
Okay.
Earl Jones. You've got Arsenio. Go ahead, run it down because something about to pop up on the screen. But oh my
Hold on
goodness.
a second. I'm going to pull it up right now one more time, and we're going to go through all of the stars who are in the second movie because it is everybody and their mother. So here we go. We have on this cast Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Sherry Headley, James Earl Jones, Tiana Taylor, Paul Bates, Morgan Freeman, Wesley Snipes.
Morgan Freeman. Would you say Morgan Freeman? I had no idea. No idea Morgan Freeman was in there.
I think what they did is they dropped the surprise, like they updated the cast list the day of. So there's some surprises that happened in the movie. Rotimi, Louis Anderson, Leslie Jones, Trevor Noah is also in the movie.
Wow.
John Amos, Michael Blackson. Like I can keep reading of all the Vanessa Bell Calloway.
I'm trying to think of who from the original movie that was an important character that's not in this movie, because I think all of them, fortunately, are still alive. Even I heard that Louis Anderson, who is the white guy from the McDowell's restaurant, comedian, he was an affirmative action hire because because Paramount made him hire a white guy for the movie, and here comes Louis Anderson, even though he had a bit role in the first film. I guess he'll have a bit role in this one. But
maybe he's the manager of McDowell's or a franchise owner. Who knows? But he's back in the movie. Who knows?
I'm just so excited. You know, just off the trailer alone, there is no way to me that this movie is not going to be good. You know,
the only person that I'm noticing is not here that wasn't the first one is I don't know, maybe she passed. If she hasn't, let me know. But the Queen isn't in the second one. Did she pass?
Yes. What is her name? I remember her. Yes, she did pass. Someone in the comments, you can remember the sister who played the Queen in the original Coming to America. She was an elegant sister back in the day, and I can't remember her name right now. Maybe look that up for me and see on the original cast and pull up her name, because I want to say that she did pass in the last maybe 4 or 5 years. But that man, James Earl, like I said, John Amos, everybody's in this movie. It's like there's no way that this movie is just not going to be good, just because it's no way. There's no way. So I'm looking forward to it coming up with, and I'm going to check it out as soon as we get off this air. You got it?
Madge Sinclair.
Madge Sinclair. Did this show when she passed?
She passed. Oh, wow. December 20th, 1995. So when did this movie come out?
Oh, it's been a while. So the movie would have came out in about 80. When did it come out? Probably 88. Probably around 88.
Yes, you're right. 1988 is when the movie came out, and she passed young. She passed at the age of 57.
Okay, yeah, that's the only person who had any significance in the original. And then, of course, I don't see Eric LaSalle. Eric LaSalle was the brother who was, and I think I remember when they were producing this movie. I forget what his name was, but the Jerry Curl, he was the boyfriend, which he really wouldn't unless she just had a bit role. But Eric LaSalle is a pretty successful producer. My favorite shows that I watch, some of my favorite shows, the Chicago series with Chicago PD and all that. He's a producer director on those a lot now, and I heard that, but that's the reason why he wasn't in this film. So, but other than that, everybody else is in this film, and I'm just so excited because it's just gonna be hilarious. I'm just looking forward to it. All right, so let's jump into a little bit of news. We're gonna save our second exciting entertainment news towards the back end. Let me go ahead and slide that on over there. And let's get into our conversation today. JayZ is not playing with y'all. So last week we talked about this. We talked about the brand, his champagne brand. He sold to Hennessy Cognac, 50% stake in JayZ's champagne brand. So he's maintaining his ownership, 50% ownership. I'm assuming whatever it is, it is. But I saw it's so funny when I had to type his name in Google. The first thing before I can finish up his name is that now he's definitely worth $1 billion now. Yeah. I'm pretty sure of that. When you start talking about him having the ability to sell it, but the second deal that he had going on this week, which just was announced, I think today, billionaire JayZ's net worth jumps 40% with the sale of streaming service Tidal plus the champagne brand.
He should have been sold Tidal, though, to be honest.
Whatever.
I mean, did you ever use Tidal? Like, I remember they had that huge rollout and there was all the major artists on it, but I don't remember anyone ever really signing up for Tidal. Did you sign up for Tidal?
I still have Tidal. I don't ever listen to it, but I still have Tidal.
You support the brand.
Huh? Yeah,
you support the brand regardless.
Well, here's the thing. It was a better audio experience. Convenience wise, it just never became a habit for me to use Tidal on a regular basis. But the music, videos, whatever, it was dope. But hey, whatever. He said, I'm gonna sell it when I'm good and ready, and he sold it to my man from Square and Twitter. And my understanding is that he doesn't sell it outright. He's still maintaining ownership. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's still maintaining.
And JayZ JayZ and Beyonce have both evolved very nicely. Of all like famous celebrities, they went from music. Okay, the music is fun. We'll do that on the side, but all this other stuff that we want to have going, we're gonna make these our main businesses. I mean, Beyonce's Ivy Park, aka Icy Park, now is selling out everywhere. You can't even get one of those pieces. Even girls, I live in Florida. We don't need none of the Icy Park stuff. But I've seen girls wearing it.
So hold on, what is
it's not even cold here enough to wear it.
Oh, so Icy Park is like the wintertime stuff? Is that what that is?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you guys are folks down in Florida all sweat with some Bubble Goose vest on or something?
She has bubble jacket with like a bubble jacket scarf, snow boots, bodysuits.
I was joking.
And it's all fun stuff, but we don't live in Aspen. We don't live in Switzerland. We live in Florida.
It don't matter. Saran was in here, and I remember whenever it happened the last couple of weeks, she came to me and Trey. She was like, "I got to get something from Ivy Park," and I'm just sitting there just with my phone, just like, that's just between you and Trey. Don't make me no difference. and
wait till All-Star. Wait till next week in All-Star Weekend. You're gonna see all them girls in 90-degree weather wearing Icy Park.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I just look at that thing and I just like what Beyonce and JayZ have done over the years has been dope. You just have to respect what they've accomplished. And people say, you can say what you want to say, and the whole he's just an old drug dealer, he's just an old rapper. Okay. He's just a billionaire, and he's just a major influencer in our community, both through the music, through the culture, and through some incredible business deals that he's made. And so stop hating and figure it out how to make it work for you and your business. I know I'm working on mine.
But here's my thing. What are old rappers supposed to do? Like, yes, he's an old rapper, but it's not like he's walking around with his shirt off and, baggy pants trying to get on somebody's feature. He's evolving. The same thing with Joe Budden. Everybody's like, oh, Joe Budden's a washed up, retired rapper. He's also one of the biggest podcasters in the country right now. So you're supposed to evolve. What's wrong with evolving?
I just gotta find. You are a hater. I need to find that and drop that in my little joints, because I don't care. When I remember when we started off loving this thing called hip hop when we were kids, a 40-year-old rapper? No. Like, who would want to be a 40-year-old rapper? Well, all right, let's look at some of the people who dropped some of the dopest albums in the last between 2020 and 2021. Nas dropped a dope album. I think it was up for a Grammy. Jay Electronica dropped something dope. Busta Rhymes dropped an incredible album. JayZ has dropped some at this point, because I'm an old school jazz head, and I'm not a real big smooth jazz. I'm a contemporary, and that's something we got to talk about too. Have you seen the Billie Holiday movie?
No, but I want to. I figured my husband's not home, I will probably watch that. But some people said, I heard movies with drug use in it make me uncomfortable. So I'm a little wary about watching that part. But I heard she's good. I know she won a Golden Globe for it her first time out the gate. So I think she probably did a fantastic job. But I'm a little over the black tragedy movies right now. Like I can't handle it after The Black Messiah. And now it's like it's a lot. It's a lot.
I get it. And if that is your issue, then yeah, make sure that you're in a good mood when you watch the Billie Holiday movie, because Andra Day, where I started this part of my rant is that I love traditional old school jazz, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald. I love that era. Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong. I love that era of music. But Billie Holiday had a rough life, y'all. She had a rough life, and the fact that I'm not giving much away because the name of the movie is Billie Holiday versus United States government, or vice versa, and it's just all about how the federal government was trying to destroy her because of the song "Strange Fruit," and that's the entire movie. But
she refused to stop performing it.
She refused to stop performing it, and when I tell you that Andra Day embodied everything that I imagined Billie Holiday would be, that girl was incredible. If you guys have seen it, drop us some comments in the chat here. But Andra Day did an incredible job in that role. She said that I saw in the interview, said she lost like 40 pounds to play the role. She started smoking, didn't smoke before. She started smoking to embody the role. And yes, there is a whole lot of drug use in it, but it's really about the empathetic. There's a part of it that I'm not going to give away because that's the important part of the story, is the relationships that were in the movie. But
not even the drug use. I heard that there's a scene where they all stop the bus to go to the bathroom, and they come across that one scene.
Yeah. Yes.
See, that's why I can't. I sat through Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and that had a weird ending if you hadn't seen it. Judas and the Black Messiah. It was so much for me. I had to watch some Tyler Perry, and y'all know how I feel about Tyler Perry movies. But I had to. Tyler Perry has a purpose, and his purpose is to be completely opposite of these hardcore movies that just make you feel like you're just being yanked down all the time, and it's just it's a lot. Like the stories make me heavy.
I think that's the reason why we loved Black Panther so much, because most of these when we're always talking about the amazing films that feature our best, the stories behind it, like literally, I have whatever the movie name, what was it called, the one that Halle Berry won the Oscar for? I've never sat through that movie.
I've never sat through that movie too, and I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
I've never sat through that. I've seen Training Day once or twice. I'm not a fan of Training Day. Denzel has played much better roles in other films, but they always want to say we do the best job when we really exploit the pain that we as Black folks have had to go through, and I'm just not interested.
I'm not interested either, and that's why I appreciated One Night in Miami, because it wasn't like that. It showed a very succinct story of these four icons without it being so tragic. It told their stories regularly. I mean, they showed one tragic moment of Malcolm X's life, but everything else was
exactly right. Thank you, Dijon. It was Monsters Ball. Monsters Ball, yes. I've just the whole idea of her being one of our best and brightest, and she plays, from my understanding, a whore, who was completely disrespected in that film. I had no interest at all at seeing that movie. But, you just think about all the tragedy. But I can't sit up here and say to you, sis, just, go watch the Billie Holiday movie, because, yes, it's rough. So 2 weeks. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Watch it first and then watch Coming to America afterwards, or vice versa. Because you're going to laugh so hard for Coming to America. Boom. Solution.
I hope we laugh hard for Coming to America. I hope we don't have our expectations way up here, and then we be like, it was all right. It wasn't good as the first one. We are the people.
I'm not worrying about that. I'm not worrying about this movie not being funny. Eddie Murphy, I can't, outside of that he had that weird period when he was making so much damn money in the in the mid to late 90s, where he was making like some movie.
It was like a 5 or 6 year period of mess. Remember the one with the words in the tree?
What?
Where every time he spoke a word, one of the leaves fell off the tree. Remember that movie?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I do not. Okay. I do not. But I remember there was some movie he did when he was the whole marketing. He was coming out of a tank, and then there was another movie where he played the president. He had a bad run until I think Shrek. I think once he did Shrek, that's when we got good.
Okay, so wait. I mean, since Eddie Murphy is back on top, let's just go through the awful movies that he's done just really quickly.
All right.
So. There was. Did you like Dolomite Is My Name?
Dolomite was good. But see, here's the thing. Because I grew up sneaking and watching Dolomite. So to see the backstory of Dolomite, I enjoyed it. So, some people may didn't like it, but I like Dolomite.
Okay, so 1,000 words.
No clue.
That's the one where when he spoke, a leaf fell off the tree. He was a book editor.
Never heard
Imagine that. Meet Dave, where he was the man inside of his own body as a robot. Remember that really stupid movie?
No, I do, but I don't. Those you don't want your hero. You don't want to remember when your heroes do crap like that. Norbit, I remember.
You remember Norbit?
Norbit was pretty bad. Okay, now, mind you, all these are probably in the mid to late 90s. That maybe early 2000s that you calling out. He had a little run right there where he was.
Daddy Daycare, The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Daddy Daycare was decent. Pluto Nash was terrible. Yes.
Bowfinger.
Okay, so you just trying to defeat my little premise that anything Eddie Murphy is going to be in is going to be funny. Now he had a couple of dramatic roles that what he did in Dreamgirls I think was really good.
Yes.
He was really good in Dreamgirls. There was a movie that came out about 3 or 4 years ago where he played, I think it was Charlie something, and he was playing it was
Mr. Church.
Mr. Church. I think his name might have been Charlie in the movie, but Mr. Church. Have you ever seen that movie? Whatever.
His name was Henry. And no, I haven't seen it.
Yo, that movie is good. That movie is really good. If you guys have not seen Mr. Church, it is a very good dramatic movie. He's basically a caretaker for a child, and they gain a really, really strong relationship. But he did an excellent job playing in that role. So check out Mr. Church. That was dope.
And he's coming back as Alex Foley in Beverly Hills Cop 4. So we'll see.
I did hear about that.
Let's see how that goes.
I'm a little bit on that, but this is gonna be funny tonight. What's gonna happen tonight with Coming to America is gonna be dope. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on. I want to get into this conversation about the fertility issues that you talked about, and I'm gonna let you set this up.
Okay. Okay, so most listeners do not know, but getting pregnant with my husband was definitely not an easy road. And during this process, I learned a lot about Black infertility, and it just made me want to learn more and ask more questions. And there wasn't really a lot of people to go to because it's not something that a lot of Black women want to talk about. We kind of suffer in silence. And I learned a lot of interesting stats about Black infertility and things that Black women deal with. Like, for example, Black women are twice as likely than white women to have fertility problems. Mm-hmm. Black women have a higher chance of dealing with fibroids, polycystic ovarian syndrome, endometriosis. There's all these issues that Black women deal with. And the other issue that Black women deal with that I blame our parents for is that you have to get married before you have a baby thing, which means you're waiting longer to have kids. And that window gets it closes faster on you the older you get. I mean, I started trying to have a baby when I got married and I was around 31, 32, thinking that was fine. And apparently once you hit 30, you are at a downhill slope to try to have a baby. And no one tells you this because in our community, it's just not spoken about. So,
right.
It's an interesting thing, especially when compared to white women, that we deal with it twice as much, but we never talk about it in the Black community. It's never spoken about.
Yeah, no, it's not. I think that I know, first of all, when I first caught wind of this, and we're super close, you and I, but it wasn't something. When I found out about that, I was just like, I was incredibly sad that you were dealing with that.
Hold on a second. Let's backtrack because listeners know what I'm talking about. During my fertility journey, trying to get pregnant, I had a miscarriage at 9 weeks. And it wasn't like a miscarriage where you just wake up, you're in pain, and you're bleeding or something like that. Mm-hmm. My pregnancy just stopped progressing. And I went to the doctor and had to find that out because I thought everything was fine. We had to use the misoprostol pills, which took about 3 days to work. And it was the most painful 3 days because you're basically going through labor every single time until everything is completed. I didn't talk about it. I didn't talk about it to anybody. I tried to talk to my mom about it, who was someone familiar with miscarriages, and a lot of older moms, like my mom's age, They don't have a way to help you. They don't have advice to give because they have nothing to compare it to.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure Tracy's mom probably would have nothing to compare it to. Thank you, Kiernet, for saying that. Yeah, it's just nothing that they, can have a reference point. So I kind of was quiet about it up until I had my fertility treatment. The day after I had my fertility treatment to get pregnant is when I finally decided, whether this works or not, I'm putting this video out here and telling people my story. And then Miguel found out about it, and it was a lot.
Yeah. It was a lot for me to just, happen upon this, and yeah. So, but I think it is generational. I think that, I'm not a full generation older than you, but I'm about halfway a generation ahead of you, right? And I know a lot of sisters around my age who probably have stories they've never shared publicly, of some of the things that they've had to deal with, abortions they may have had, issues where, women were having abortions and they couldn't afford it, so they were doing it in back alleys type situations. It's just something that's very tough. And I can't, I'm always trying to be empathetic, and I'm always trying to be able to deal with it. And like I said, everybody who knows me, or you've been watching the show, I ain't had nothing but women around me my whole life.
Yeah.
I was raised by women. I got a wife and I got 3 daughters. Like, I keep a male dog around for a reason. And so, but that's one thing that I cannot, it's nothing I can do but just try to be empathetic and just be there and be comforting. So,
it's a hard road. And again, like I said, I feel like the biggest issue Black women face is our age, because we are all waiting to get married, because our mothers always instill, like, I would like you to get married before you have a baby. And a lot of professional Black women really try to wait to find that one perfect guy. And let's be clear how this works, Black women. Let's just have this conversation. There's only one train that comes through each state every year. There's only 15 good Black men on that train. If you don't get one, you got to wait till the next year. That's how this works. So if you don't find that one Black man on that train that 1 year, then you're now waiting another year and another year until you're 33, 35. And when you want to have a baby, that's when you run into the difficulty. And I used to be kind of like my mom said, wait to get married. And now I'm kind of like, if you are financially stable enough to have a baby, go to your doctor, find a sperm donor, and have a child. Like, I'm now pro, if you want to have a baby, have a baby. You're making a face. Oh.
I got 3 daughters.
Okay.
I got 3 daughters, and that's, and I got one that is now 21. So,
okay. And if your daughter came to you, this is real. If your daughter came to you at 32 years old and said, Dad, I'm not married yet, but I want to be a mom, what would you tell her?
That's it would be, at that point, she would be very much an adult, and she would know what she's dealing with, and I'm going to support her regardless. That's period, point blank. But it is a maturity piece that, and some people mature. Here's the thing. If you spend your whole 20s partying and you hitting the club every week, it's going to be hard for you to find, as you say, those 15 guys on that one train that came through, because instead of you being by that train station, your ass was in the club. That's your fault. But,
the Black train station and walked over to the guy in these Indian states, was like, oh, look.
Yeah, I don't know. Your internet is tripping right now on me a little bit. So, yeah, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure what you said probably was funny, but I didn't catch it because your internet was tripping on me. So anyway, but
is my internet working again?
It's kind of fuzzy. Can you see me doing the little joint?
I can actually see you clear as day, but I look fuzzy. Am I back yet? Am I still waiting?
You're coming. We'll figure it out. It's all good. This is our world. So yeah, I just, sisters, that's something, a decision, and we are in a much more liberal. You're clearing up. We're in a much more liberal mindset, but I'll be real honest with you. That's probably not the direction I would ever, tell my kids. But at the same time, you were 31 years old when you got married, 31, 32 years old. And then, of course, as you said, now I know people, who are my age, almost, I'm 49 this summer, and they chilling. They kids are grown. They out the house. and now they in Jamaica because they had their kids early. It's a personal preference. I just think when you're young, the conversation of people who have kids when they're young, it just makes the road tougher. It just makes it harder when you don't have the support and you don't have the ability to take care of yourself when you're young. But when it comes down to when it comes down, we'll get Kid back on here in just a second. Here, internet's tripping a little bit. But when it comes down to having the ability to manage, kids and the relationships and all of that, it's much easier to do it when you have a partner. But it's kind of to each his own. Let me see if we got Kia back here. We good, sis?
I'm good now. Can everybody see me clearly?
Yep, we good.
Okay, so the joke I had made before my internet decided to go out was basically that a lot of Black women are on that black guy train station. Me, myself, was like, let's go find another train station where the men are getting dropped off at. And I hopped over to the Middle Eastern Guyanese train. There was plenty of men on that train. And I was like, girls, listen, look, come over, look at all, they're all here, all on this train. Nobody's lining up for this train. And I found my husband. Like, I got off the black train because I knew there was a person out there for me, and I did want to have, a family. I didn't know if I wanted to have kids myself, but I wanted a family. So I think I had to make that choice.
I think it's time. It's time. You need to call our girl and get her back on the show.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about. Your arch
nemesis. I don't, but I'm worried.
Your arch nemesis from our blog talk radio days.
Who?
Beyond Black White. It's time.
Oh, I'm gonna punch that hoe in the face. Like
I guess it's not time to have her on the show if you're still there.
I'm still there. She was different. She was different.
Oh man, so for some of y'all,
listeners, please go look at beyondblackandwhite.com. I'm pretty sure by this time she probably has a YouTube channel or something, because she was
so we used to have a sister who used to come on our show. We probably had her on at least 4 or 5 times back in the day, and she has a community called beyondblackwhite.com, and it's a bunch of sisters who just have had some pretty bad experiences with black men, and they're all talking about how great it is to not date black men, right? And so we would have them on the show. I mean, I'm gonna have to find some of those clips, man, and play some of those clips, because but we used to have some knockdown drag outs with her, and if anybody wants to hear her back on the show, I can't have you. I don't know.
She was just so anti-black men, though, it seemed like. Isn't that how it
man. Yeah, it was terrible. You know me, I'm always feeling like I can help somebody. That she was like, I don't need no help, and my 10,000 black women who are on my Facebook page don't need no help. I had to end up just blocking that group, because anytime they popped up on my thread, I was like, Jesus, these women, oh my God. So anyway, but the funny part about it is that when it's all said and done, you ain't married a black man.
Yeah, and she's still out here.
Oh, I know she's still out there. I'm sure she was doing well. It was her business. So anyway, a story. There's a story that I'm gonna see let me see if I can find that story right now. Did you know? Okay, you remember the woman who did the deal? What time is it? Okay, make sure we keep it on time, because I told you we're not hanging out late today. The woman who ran for Senate in Maryland, who had the red dress on, and she had to add, she was running.
The one with the long Barbie doll wig, and she was walking through the community.
Yeah. So I saw a story with her yesterday or day before, where that whole thing was a hustle. So what happened was, and it's happening all over, and we off script, but it's fine. What happened was that with her, she generated some $8 million with that campaign. Here's the capper. Now there is a situation where these folks are creating these ads. Of the $8 million she generated, 70% of that money never hit her campaign.
Yeah.
It stayed with the marketing company and with the PR company that did the social media marketing for it.
$4 million. Stayed with them.
Stayed with them. And here's the thing, so now you wonder, why would she run in a Democratic district that she had no chance in hell winning against Kwasi Mfume in Maryland? Anybody from that area knew that it was no way she was beating Kwasi Mfume in Maryland. Then there was another guy in Minnesota that was running against Omar in Minnesota. Now, she lost by 40 points in Maryland. He lost by 40 points in Minnesota, but they both made a killing off of it, and now they're both on television, and that is almost like their entree into celebrity. And so now you look at this thing and you say, well, yeah, I see why there's a Candace Owenses of the world, because it's a whole lot of money that these people throw behind these people to build up. You know, it's crazy. When I read that, my mouth honestly dropped, because I knew politics was dirty. We know politics is dirty, but you basically are saying, hey, Mr. Donor, send your $100, $40, $10,000 to this campaign to help this woman win. It ain't got nothing really to do with her winning anything. It's about these people keeping this money in house with these fees.
But keep in mind, we knew that even Trump was doing that. Trump was saying that only donations above a certain amount were actually going to go towards, researching campaign or election fraud. Everything else was going towards his debt and bills and this and that. And people still gave money.
But a lot of these people didn't know.
Yeah. Donors look so stupid. It makes Republican donors look dumb. Like, you're not reading the fine print.
Yeah.
And then when you do read it, you're like, well, I guess that makes sense. Like, it's so weird to me. It's very weird.
Yeah. Everybody not as smart as you. We knew. No, everybody didn't know. and repeat, yes, Trump does it. But here's the thing. I knew, and I know what Trump was doing. But the fact that it was there's no cap on the fact that basically, the way I was reading this article, for every dollar that was brought in, it was a situation where they had to get paid back for what they did. It's almost like the situation with a lawyer. Those lawyers say, no fees, we'll take your case, we'll make sure we win you money, because they take it on as a sales tactic to bring you in. And if you make $1 million, we're going to keep $300,000 of the million for my fees. So they see value in that person as being someone you can build something with. So that's what they did with this sister. Pretty, attractive sister, just nothing about her looks like, the typical black Republican. She was a nice looking woman, dressed decent, maybe
nothing about her looked smart either. So yeah, I guess that fit the bill.
Yeah, well, you guys like, Diamond and Silks and all those type people. So
don't do that.
Nope, I'm doing that.
We're not doing that. Where no one thinks those two women are smart. They look like M&Ms with arms and legs. Like, no one thinks these women are smart or capable. You can't even trust you guys to find good wigs. I mean, why are we wearing wigs from CeCe Pennington's, video back in the day? Why? Why are we doing this?
Hey, now she can't be 100% sister girl. She just got to be about 70% sister girl, and then at that
keep
point,
on walking with the edges still slick down to your forehead, slick down, so, like Gorilla Glue slick down. Okay.
Yeah, only DC Maryland people will get this comment. They see
Maryland.
Yeah, the DC Maryland people would get it. It won't let me do it. All right, it's acting up on me. Anyway,
but I do wish that somebody needs to step in with Candace Owens. I know we talked about the guys of black Republicans. They can't get nobody to cut their hair, so it look a hot mess. Somebody has to help Candace Owens. I'm not saying she needs a wig or a weave. She just needs a really, really good hot comb and somebody with a steady hand, and we can.
But
really
she don't. But first of all, what black woman gonna spend 4 hours doing her hair and listening to her for 4 hours?
I'd burn her on purpose, to be honest. She'd be in my chair like, ooh, you got me. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get you. You got to hold your ear all the way down.
We had that conversation a few weeks ago about black men Republicans and their hairlines. I got a couple text messages behind that.
What they said? Were they mad? Were they mad? They had to be mad.
Hey man, hey, it is what it is. I love you, brother. You know who you are.
You know who you are.
You know who you
and
are.
You're gonna post your picture one day, so we can all see your uneven.
Well, no, good thing about him is that he's bald. He's bald, so he keeps his head bald. So that was easy.
Now, because he realized he couldn't go nowhere, so I just need to learn to get this razor going by myself.
I can clown my man. You can't. It's my man. Anyway. All right, let's jump back into we just all off the rails today, and that's quite all right. But we touched on some really solid things. I want to talk about what is going on with your people in Texas, because they are your people. They are your people. I'm blaming every last one of the bit on you. All right, so here we go. So Joe Biden decides that he says, okay, by Tuesday, Wednesday, he said we're gonna have enough vaccine to vaccinate the entire country by July. Because here's the thing, people. If you're watching the tea leaves, reading the tea leaves, we will not go through another NFL season with nobody in the stands. We will not go through another college football season with nobody in the stands. Those stands will be full come September. And it's going to be
all sports, basketball, FIFA, baseball,
all of them.
Curling will all be back there.
Yeah. At least that's the plan. But then you have idiots like the governors I'm gonna say Mexico, governor of Texas, the governor of Mississippi, and even the governor of what was it, South Carolina. South Carolina says, I raised you one. Y'all stopped your mask mandates. He takes a victory like, because we never had one.
Like, I feel bad because okay, I'm studying for a reason. There's no end to the stupidity. That's where the problem is. There's no, like, if as Republicans, regular Republicans, if we could pick one thing to fight, that'd be fine. I feel like each Republican is taking a different stance for no apparent reason that makes no sense. You've got Marsha Blackburn complaining about Biden calling people Neanderthals, even though like it's a racial slur or something, and Neanderthals aren't even a thing anymore. She's mad about that. We've got the Texas governor lifting up the mask mandate, but then also saying Joe Biden is letting all these immigrants into Texas who are spreading COVID. If that's the case, and keep the mask mandate to stop you from the zombie immigrants, like, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. You all of a sudden you mad because Joe Biden is supposedly opening up the borders from Mexico, and they got COVID, so according to you. But at the same time, in the same week, basically in the same breath, they're gonna say, "Oh, but take your mask off. It's cool. Everything fine."
That's my problem. Like, and then they're still doing this whole the election fraud. They're not signing the COVID bill to give relief to people. It's just no end to the stupidity, and trying to make it seem like it's a Democrat thing. Hey, Republicans, it's like a girl who keeps getting dumped over and over and over again. At a certain point, you have to realize it's not the guys, sweetie, it's you. You are the reason why you're getting dumped. Republicans, it's you, it's us. It's something's going on where we've gotten so far apart from, the actual goals and Republican values to now it's just, I'm just going to say and do whatever I want and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous that these leaders, those are the Republican leaders. Governor Abbott and whoever the governor is in Mississippi, don't know his name. The governor in South Carolina.
The governor of Florida.
I just don't get it.
The entire time. And they actually think he's going to be able to run in 2024 for president. Why?
I say I don't get it because I don't want to get it, but I get it because there's so many undereducated people. There's a bill on the floor right now, I believe in the Georgia Senate, that's trying to require, because right now I think it's in Georgia, a couple other southern states, you have to go to school past the age of 16. Legally, if you decide at 16, 10th grade, going into 11th grade, or some people 10th grade, I don't go to school no more. I don't want to go to school no more.
What with the accent? Was the accent needed?
I don't go to school.
I don't go to school no more.
I don't go to school no more.
Aren't they trying to let them vote at 16 though?
Huh?
Are they trying to let them vote at 16?
That would make a lot of sense for stupidity's sake. It would. You have people who are dumb, and then you give them the power to vote. Bottom line, they're going to have the power to vote at 18 anyway, if they're smart enough to vote or not. But it's just, they blame it on, they say about the Georgia southern states being agricultural states, and in most cases, in a lot of cases, still are. But, it pays, somebody with a PhD behind their name or 3 or 4 other degrees has just the same exact one vote as someone who can be taught and thought that you can kiss a golden calf of Donald Trump and that's cool. The same person.
I would like to know where the Democratic elitist thing came from, because Republicans are notoriously filthy rich. I mean, for goodness sake, Ted Cruz was going to go on a drop of a dime trip to Cancun. I don't know how many people can just regularly do that who aren't elitists. They go to Ivy League schools. They own these companies. They know they own hedge funds. Half of us don't even know what a hedge fund is or what it even does. So how did it go from Republicans who are notoriously East Coast elitists to now it's the Democratic Hollywood
because it's all a game. This is all a game. But if you think about the Republicans is a lot of this. It's a lot of people in corporate space who own a lot of stuff, who see the value financially to own stuff, run stuff, and for people down here to be dumb as rocks. So in the middle, you have, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to lie to you like all these Democrats are just so smart and people who vote Democrat are always, no, it's not the case. I'm not going to sit up and lie to you. But you have a lot of conversations that go on in the Democratic spaces. That you got the progressives who are demanding respect from from people in the middle, and you got the people who love the green stuff, and you got people who are all about unions. And you got all these different types. And it used to be a little bit at in the Republican Party, but it's gotten to the point now the Republican Party is even the well-meaning smart ones like you and the people that you know, y'all are just in the periphery. They like, okay, y'all get to the side. We don't give a doggone about what y'all think.
They don't. Our opinion doesn't even matter.
The Michael Stills of the world, the people who are running the Lincoln Project, those type of people are ostracized. Now it's all about this demon that they call Donald Trump and everything that he says, and the people who want to fight him or think that the Mitch McConnells of the world. If the people would stop supporting Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell in a heartbeat would be like, Trump, kick him to the side. Kick him to the side.
Yeah, and people, like, I used to look up to Meghan McCain, and Meghan McCain was anti-Trump and a lot of stuff like that. And now she's just like, well, Biden's not doing this, Biden's not doing that. I'm like, ooh, girl, you really about to walk this line? Are we really about to do this? I mean, I get it. Biden hasn't had a press conference yet. Okay, fine, whatever. That's not the best thing.
Right.
But for her to make it basically seem like, well, the Democrats are in power now, and this is wrong, and that's wrong, and this is wrong. Oh, they're calling us Neanderthals and this and that. You didn't care when Trump was saying all this other crap about you and your family and your own father and everybody else. But now all of a sudden it's this big, huge thing. All I want is for Republicans like me, don't try to jump over to the side of the Trump Republicans because it's popular right now and you want people to kick it with. You don't need to. Right. I don't have anybody to kick it with. You know, when I told my mom I was a Republican, she looked at me like I told her I was gay and getting married tomorrow. Like, she looked at me like, "What? Why? Why are you a Republican? I don't understand." Like, so I've been on an island for a while, and I'm fine with that. So,
yeah, and that's okay. You're wrong, and it's okay. But you didn't catch that, or you just let it go. Oh, hold on.
No, I was reading Bishop Donald Oliver's comment.
Bishop Don, let me give a shout out to the Let's Go Live family, because Let's Go Live is a community that I hang out with online, and there's a lot of people who do a lot of live broadcasting, and he's a part of it. So what's up, Bishop? Good to see you, my friend. So yeah, I all jokes aside, I don't care you're Republican. I understand why some people are Republicans. It's not for me, but I like to make money like Republicans. I like to listen to a lot of my black Republican friends or white Republican friends or Republican spirit when y'all start talking about that bread.
It's fair.
I all day long. But when it comes down to social issues and how y'all don't give a rat's, you know what, about Bishop, thank you for being on the thread, because I had to think about the fact that you here, and I almost let one fly. And thank the Lord that you are here.
And we care about social issues. We just...
No, y'all don't. No,
we do. I care about social issues.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your party as a whole. Give me one social issue that is the benefit of all Americans that the current Republican Party is in support
of. I don't have one. Because even me, and I know I'm going to get so much crap for this, and I'm so sorry. Even me with like the Me Too movement, I have moved from believe all women to listen to all women. I call it the Ansari clause. Like, I moved over to that. We all remember what happened to Aziz Ansari. Remember that? We talked about that years ago.
Ooh.
The comedian, Aziz Ansari, the Indian comedian who had that big story come out. And the girl had like said all that stuff, and like they had gone on a date, and she wanted red wine.
I do vaguely remember that. Yes, I do.
But I'm saying I call it the Ansari clause, and a lot of people who are like, "Oh, that's so Republican of you to say something like that." I'm like, it's just gone left for me. Yeah. So I listen to all women, not believe all women. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, to me. And I know there are social issues, bottom line, there's the abortion issue, which, I get it. but I'm not a one issue voter, and just because a Democrat it may have be in support or doesn't have an opinion about that is not a reason I'm not going to vote for them if there's other issues that make sense for me. But now it's not even about that anymore. The way that the Republicans supported Trump during that period when he left those children locked up in those cages, and when you talk about, it's just so many things. And it was so much stuff that it's just like you got fed with a water hose during the Trump administration.
You did.
Yeah.
And I always say, Obama did build those cages, but I always, again, having to be a reasonable Republican, he built those cages, but the way they are utilized now is not their intended, was never their intended purpose.
Right.
The entire family was moved into those facilities, and they were shipped back within 30 days. Like, it wasn't they're just now separated. Now the kid is just there. Those kids have been in there for, are we rounding a year? Maybe more.
Year? Oh my God. It's been at least 2. It's we forget about 2020 makes us forget. That's like a whole 12 months that we all just like, oh my God. They were in those cages within Trump's first year in office, I thought. So a
lot of those kids are now teenagers. Some of them maybe even have aged out, and now they're just going to be kids on the street because there's nowhere for them to go. So what was the end game to that? But that's a whole different conversation.
So the whole thing about the Republicans today, it's just unfortunate that they've just decided that the line is drawn in the sand. If somebody Democratic is on it, we're not supporting it at all. There's no negotiation going on. It's crazy. So
there's no respect.
Huh?
There's no respect.
There's no respect for the community, because it ain't about respecting Democrats. Respect the American people and the progress that we're looking to achieve as a country. We're not going to agree on everything. Joe Biden comes from an age now. Joe Biden has been out of the Senate for 12 years. People, they always, when Trump was running that, he's been in the Senate for 47 years. That's a damn lie. Like, he literally has not been in public office the last 4 years. He wasn't in the Senate for 8 years because Obama was president twice. So you're talking about 12 years, he was not a part of the process. It was all marketing. Everything was about marketing and with the stories that was being told. And it didn't work. So it is what it is.
And they always say, Biden didn't do anything except for the Violence Against Women Act, which was probably one of the most key legislation to ever cross. So let's call a spade.
None of this stuff, none of these people working in a monolith. This is Congress. This is our process. None of these folks, except now you have people like, and Lord knows, we got a couple more stories we got to hit before we bounce. But, we talk about Manchin in West Virginia as a Democratic senator. He's a issue for Democrats because ultimately he seems like he's much more of a white male than he is a Democrat. And so everybody says, when we won the 2 seats in Georgia and now Democrats have got control no, we don't. No. No.
Not to be funny, but old white Republicans, I don't know if they're killing babies and drinking their blood behind closed door, but they live forever and they just stay there and they get voted. Remember how long Strom Thurmond stayed alive?
Yeah, I think he was about, I want to say he might have been 96 when he finally passed away. Yeah, Strom Thurmond.
People kept voting for him and he was still there.
But it doesn't. Here's the thing. It's a representative government where the senators are going to have to be, because there aren't too many states anymore where there aren't enough liberals in the state that you don't have to at least pay attention. There's some of them out there. I can't speak for South Dakota and Montana and that old over there. That's all like weird to me.
Anything in the middle? North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming. Those are real places.
Yeah. But they're real enough that Wyoming might have 3 million population in the entire state, which ain't about as much as Brooklyn and Queens. But they still got 2 senators that are just as powerful as the 2 that are in New York and probably more powerful because of the fact that all y'all little city folk don't matter. We still got 2, whether or not we're Rhode Island with 1 million people, Wyoming with 2 million people, or Florida with 60 million or whatever the number is in Florida. And so that's just our representative government. And so we're going to keep it moving. All right. So let's see what else we got to talk about before. Let me get this story in real quick. Because we want to talk a little. Always we talk Black excellence. We got to talk about this deal. LeBron James had on some FAMU inspired shoes during the game, sneakers the other day. Like he's got a deal going on with him, and so that's pretty dope. We appreciate what he's doing and the fact he's unapologetic. Also, my man Chris Paul, who's from North Carolina, is from the Raleigh-Durham area. My understanding, he's got a deal going on with North Carolina Central. And so we're happy about what is going on with that story as well. And
your school could never.
Huh?
Your school could never. Behold the green and gold that. Like, how about those apples?
I'm trying to give fam some love. I'm trying to give fam some love, but here we go. Because I'm trying to give fam some love, but this is how I get treated when I try to give fam some love. I want y'all to see how my lovely little sister co-host, how she treats her big brother. So I'm just
you can't hear this.
I'm just minding my business. I was just minding my business, and then all of a sudden on a Tuesday, I get this post. Now, I ain't even gonna hate because it actually sounds pretty good. For those who don't know, that is the Marching 100 from FAMU, Kia's alma mater, and look what she puts. Look what she puts. Your band could never. Now, I got a couple of Spartans on here, that are watching. As always, my people are watching. I just want to know, like, what were you thinking? You just decided you just wanted to hate, just in the middle of a Tuesday. You just wanted to hate
Yes. That's exactly what I thought. There is no other complicated part of this. I was like,
y'all can't really see that, but that's a fly Norfolk State shirt right there. I like that.
That is a nice shirt. I like the embossing on that.
I like that. That's pretty dope.
But our band is awesome. I saw that, and it just made me think of all the conversations that we have about the bands and the HBCUs, and you, like you said, they sound amazing.
No, I don't front. When it's first, they sound amazing. Y'all ain't got nothing else to do in Tallahassee anyway. We got a lot more to do in VA than y'all got to do in Tallahassee.
What's the point?
Exactly. The point is you out the blue hating on my people. That's the point.
You could have gotten back to me. Post your band. I don't see any feedback from all of you Norfolk State people. Post your band.
Okay.
Tag me in it. Flood my timeline with Norfolk State band stuff. I'm fine with it. I can.
Okay.
What do you got, Spartan? No, it's not all day, Sonia. It's not all day. All day. See, you opening up a can of worms. That's fine. I'm going to YouTube right now. Norfolk State band.
Yeah, and you gonna see some fire. You gonna see who was the first band to play "Talking Out the Side of Your Neck." Norfolk State. It wasn't fam. You started this. You want that smoke? You can get that smoke. Y'all want to drop it in there? Behold, you.
Your band only has like 50 people on it.
No. I don't know what Spartan Legion band you looking at.
Yours.
I don't know what Spartan Legion. You looking at a COVID Spartan band. Ain't nobody in school.
Oh, now it's a COVID band? Okay, sorry.
Ain't nobody in school right now. You can cut. You want all this smoke? That's all right. So I'm gonna give y'all little band. I'm gonna give y'all little band. Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all little band. It's all good. I can hear that little raggedy Android phone you got over there that ain't got no bass in it. I can hear that. All right. Anyway, before we get up out of here, because I got a movie to go watch. Oh my God!
Baby shower to be ready for on Sunday.
Yes, we got a baby shower. My girl's baby shower is coming up on Sunday, so we're gonna be. Thanks. See, this is fam right here. This is fam right here. This is all Norfolk State, all day, every day.
I love you all you guys who are listeners who are Norfolk State. You know what? I can talk bad about them, but if I went somewhere and someone else was talking bad about Norfolk State, I'd be ready to fight. Like how dare you? You don't know anything about them.
Here's the thing, though. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because anybody don't talk about my HBCUs. That's a family conversation. We got a family. It's a family conversation. That's our little. But you get outside the family, you're gonna have some problems. But last thing, I got to shout this out before we bounce, because I just, and please, Facebook people or whatever, I didn't play a whole lot of it, so y'all just chill. But this new joint right here. Tell me that you're coming through. I won't bang unless you
And if you're hungry, girl, I got filet.
I want you to hit. Did you hear what he just said? He said, if you smoke, I got the haze. If you hungry, I got the lays. Boy, that boy is a rhymer, right, boy? Boy, I swear.
Anderson .Paak featuring Bruno Mars.
So new album just came out. Silk Sonic, Anderson .Paak, Bruno Mars, two of the most soulful folks that are in. I think we might have talked about this on the show recently. When I was wondering, like, man, what is Bruno Mars doing? We had new music out of him, and now this album with Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else you got? I think did we cover everything today? Anybody got anything else to comment? I appreciate all the love, all our folks who've been coming on Dijon.
The last thing I'm going to bring up, let's just grab your phone. What's hot on the feeds really quick. Let's see.
Yeah. Let me see. What's on my feed? What anything? Let me see. What anybody talking about besides folks cussing out people for sharing all what's going on with Coming to America before we see it.
Oh, what's on my feed, which is so stupid, so I sat down and watched it. There's two things. If you don't want to watch, black tragedy porn this weekend, you need a break from that. There is a Pharaoh versus. Porn. That's what it is. It makes me
black
really
tragedy porn. Oh my God! Go ahead.
Pharaoh versus Allen, which is a Woody Allen versus Mia Farrow documentary, which is actually really good. A lot of black people are watching it because we like when white people mess up. We like to watch it. I'm sorry that sounds messed up. It's true. Yeah. I also watched the Tekashi 6ix9ine documentary, which
did you catch wind of the fact that he tried to clown always getting mixed up Lil Nas X and Lil Nas X posted that he was in his DMs.
That's why I brought that up. Tekashi 6ix9ine is a moron. Like, I don't understand what his deal is. The other thing on Netflix
sells. Being moronic is profitable. You say on Netflix. Go ahead.
His numbers has gone down though.
I hope
Tekashi
so.
6ix9ine's numbers have gone down.
Never heard a song of his in my life. Every time I see him, I think clown. Period. That's all I think. But go ahead. What's going? Something about Netflix. Go ahead.
Really quick about Tekashi, really fast. If this boy had just gone to college, he'd probably be one of the best marketing geniuses on the planet. Not gonna lie.
I don't know. I just don't give people who do what Tadashi, however you pronounce his name, Tekashi, whack dude. That's what I call him. Whackness.
Snitch.
Whatever snitch. Whatever y'all want to call him, to go out there and just have the guts to always be a clown, and you snitching on the hip hop community, which puts a target on your back, and you done went to jail, and now you're supposed to be tough, but you really was a snitch from the jump. I don't know. I guess you can call him a marketing genius because there's a market for everything and everybody, but.
Oh, and then the last thing I want to bring up to watch is the Mormon murders on Netflix. Apparently, the Mormon community had like a bunch of bombings that happened in the late 80s because they were fighting over if the religion is real or not. So they started bombing each other and blowing each other up. It's really interesting. Mormons are crazy. We knew that already, but that's just more confirmation that Mormons are crazy. So
let's just say, Trey and I tried to watch Prodigal Son last night. Which was a series I think it's on NBC, Peacock, whatever one of them, I think. And I'd heard about it, and it's about a guy who was in the FBI, and his dad was a serial killer, or is a serial killer. And we watched that episode. I said, this is upsetting my spirit. I'm done. I was like, you up here crazy. Last thing, and before, and I want y'all to talk about this, and maybe we'll bring this up next week or whatever. I had this dude try to argue me down. That what's the movie? Snowfall, which I like. I enjoy Snowfall. I think it's entertaining.
Yep.
This dude tried to tell me Snowfall was better than The Wire.
Based on what?
Based on what? I don't know.
No, like that's what it looked like. Based on
he tried to talk about some cinematic value. And that doesn't matter. I enjoy Snowfall. Then he was talking something about how, it kind of showed us how the Nicaraguans and the money that was coming, and that's how it was brought into man. It's 1,000 movies that have done that story. There ain't nothing unique about Snowfall. You
can watch Blow and get that same
there's
kind
nothing
of value.
unique. Don't get me wrong. Old boy Franklin Saint ain't nothing better, ain't nothing more than Avon, not Avon, but What's Idris Elba's character?
I didn't watch The Wire.
What?
I wasn't old enough. Like, I don't think I was. When did The Wire stop? I don't think I had cable. Either I wasn't old enough or I didn't have cable. It was one of those two things.
Did you just say you've never watched The Wire? And
I never watched The Wire. Now, I know it came. Now, a lot of famous people got their career started on The Wire, which is why I always say The Wire will never, ever, The Wire will always be like Soprano level TV show. Always.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Give it up. Give me your black card.
Black card for that?
Yes.
For The Wire?
Okay, this yes. I want you to take your little baby time, and because you're not gonna sleep anyway. So when you're not asleep, I want you to just go episode by episode. It might take you about 6 months to watch it. But
okay, see, now you got me wild. Now I got to deal with babies in the middle of the night watching The Wire, which I'm pretty sure is not kid appropriate.
What you think your little infant baby gonna understand what's going on with The Wire? But here's the thing, man.
Next thing I know, the first word is the N word. Then what? Then what do I do?
Hey, that's your problem. You're a bad parent. So, so it was like, and oh boy, we get into a funny debates online. Don't get it wrong. That's my man. He's cool. But what? I was like, he's about The Wire was nothing but about some drug dealers in Baltimore. Then you have no idea.
I haven't watched the show, and even I know there's way more to that show than just
you got a whole season about politicians. You got a whole season about education. You got a whole season about drugs coming in overseas through the docks. You got it's so much depth in The Wire. And I
have seen a couple of episodes, and one episode I saw, it showed like the relationship between the mother and the son. Like she bought him school clothes or something, and then they were both smoking weeds in different part of the house. I was like, what's happening right now?
The Wire introduced us, first of all, to a city that many people don't know about, how rugged the city of Baltimore is. Baltimore is a rugged city. But, just so much depth. We don't have time to go into it right now. The Wire is an incredible show. But like you said, Michael B. Jordan, which everybody loves right now, was a kid on The Wire. The young kid, Idris Elba, obviously. The dude who ended up, who played Michael on The Wire, ended up being a singer and actor as well. My man who played Omar, I can't remember nobody. Everybody I know their name by their characters. The guy that was the politician that said the SHIT for that. Now he's a meme all over. The Wire was such an incredibly done series. The fact that they showed just the realness of inner city, no one has done it as good, and it's been 20 years. I think the last episode of Wire probably aired in 2005, 2006.
So you're talking about Michael K. Williams. That's who
Michael K. Williams, who played Omar, who's done. And here's the thing: no matter what else they play, they go play other roles. They've all had great careers, and ironically, a lot of them end up still working for HBO and end up doing other series on HBO.
Yes, the guy who's talking about who played Omar actually played the gay dad in Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, he was in that. Yeah, he was, but he's still Omar to me. He that you want to talk about typecast? That brother will go to his grave as Omar, and I think that you, Dijon, you're talking about her name is Sonia John for some reason.
Sonia John, yep.
Sonia John. She's from Newport News, and then it doesn't matter. She played a mom in some show. It don't matter. You always
even Dominic West, who was the main white guy detective Jimmy. Yeah, he went on to star in The Affair on Showtime and won a bunch of awards.
And he's still just a white cop from The Wire to me.
Okay, I'm not okay. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to Life Full Circle Radio, where we can only appreciate black actors on this show.
No, he was a great actor. He played an incredible role. He's actually either British, Scottish, or Australian, whatever he is. They always, but
he's British.
He's British. As was Idris Elba. When I found that out back in the day, I was like, word, he's British too? That's a whole nother show, whole nother conversation about how mad some black people are because all these black actresses coming over here and killing it. But anyway, great show today. Appreciate you if everybody been tuning in. By the time we have this show, we're going to start having some more guests on because I know you about to take a break, so I got to find some more.
Hey, you guys have me until April 13th. So by the Friday before that will be probably my last show if these babies don't make like a grand entrance or anything. But yeah. April. I got a couple more weeks to be here with everybody and tune in.
Yeah, and we actually taking a vacation in early April, so we may take a week or two off and retool and everything, because it's time to take a little. We're gonna be on somebody's island, all masked up, the whole family, and acting like we're at the house. We just get on a plane and go to somebody's house on the island and just sit there like, get away from my door. You got COVID. Go. Nah, but we're gonna have a blast. But appreciate everybody. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for all your feedback. Appreciate all the love to all our folks, all our family. Make sure you share and like and do all that good stuff. And if the spirit moves you, you can go ahead and hit us up on the little Zelle, the little Cash Apps, and all that good stuff over there. Because I got to hit up her little registry. We got some. You should have got our stuff by now, right? We sent y'all something.
You didn't send nothing. Don't do that.
We did. Or unless you getting it and you open it all up on the reveal on Sunday. I know let me go holler at Trey.
No, we opened up all of our stuff in advance so that we can write thank you letters, and we have a whole slideshow of gifts.
I know. We sat right there in that bed. I'm about to go check it. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Life Full Circle Radio. We holler at y'all next week. Peace.
Bye.